Glorious Rising Soul Family. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, this is Soul Family Oracle. I deliver messages from the divine, the depth of our soul, our spirit guides, and our ancestors. And if you're returning, as always, thank you so much. I appreciate all your support, and I'd like to say a big welcome to all our new subscribers. So this message is an ancestral message that has been coming through the last few days. It's been very heavy ancestral energy. And this is coming specifically from a grandmother that is feeling the need to apologize, basically. For whoever this message is for, it's like what the message was saying coming through was like your grandmother wants you to know that they are very sorry for not being able to protect you in the physical realms or as they were alive. So I feel like whoever this message is for, there's something that went on within your family, with some of the people in your family, where you were wrongfully treated, judged, abused, cast out, something of the sort. And it's almost as if somehow this grandmother knew exactly what was going on or saw exactly what was going on, but didn't exactly take a stance or didn't exactly like give you their support in the stance, like in the sense of like, you know, really stand up for you. And even though they may have tried to, I'm hearing diplomatic, they may have tried to be diplomatic about the situation and just like try and just to keep the peace and to keep, you know, everybody from just fighting and stuff like that, they do understand that they could have done better, or they do understand that that wasn't exactly the right way to go about it. And that's why this message is coming through. For whoever this message is for, this grandmother is needing you to know that for all the times that they didn't or weren't able to protect you in the physical realm, to defend you from the people or the others in the family that were trying to do you harm or did you harm, that tried to blacklist you or did blacklist you, that painted you black, that told lies on you, it wasn't because she didn't see it. It wasn't because she didn't know. It was because she was trying to maintain the peace. Somehow, it's almost as if in death, she feels the remorse or did feel the remorse and the regret of not standing up for you. But I feel like you are actually the one that has been venerating her. I feel like whoever you are, you have become the one that venerates her and not the others. So you are somebody that maybe from your family, you could be the outcast because you are a spiritualist, because you believe in spirituality and you do ancestral veneration and, you know, you're very tuned into spirituality. I'm hearing something about forgoing the church. You may have left the church. So you could come from a family that is very rooted in church, you know, Christianity, and you may have left that whole thing. Like, you know, you don't want to follow this because you feel otherwise. And this could have also put a lot of eye on you, like negatively, like evil eye. Had people in your family look at you and then in a very weird way, calling you weird, calling you devilish. And somehow deep inside, your grandmother, she understood the path that you were on, because she used to be on that path also. I feel like somehow there was some kind of, not conditioning, because this energy is giving me very heavily aware, 111 on the timer and 44%. This energy is giving me very much aware. It's almost like she was very aware of the energy you were walking in, because she once used to be like that, but for one reason or the other, she may have conformed or kind of like, I'm hearing like watered down her ways in order to try and establish a much more secure path for the generation or for her children and grandchildren, maybe because then it was frowned upon, and then she didn't want her children to be isolated, cast out by others, so she conformed. Another thing that was coming through is like, for some of you, they need for you to know that they never saw you as the black sheep. They never saw you as the odd one out. They never saw you as a bad child or a bad grandchild. So I feel like for some of you, even to the point of their death, you may have thought that they were disappointed in you, or you may have thought that they weren't pleased with your way or pleased with your life. You may have thought that they didn't really believe in you as in who you were and the path that you were on. But that's not so. And I feel like this is all because they never really expressed how they felt about you being on the path you were on, or just expressed that despite all those things or whatever the other family members may have said about you or said to you, or all the things that you've had to do because of how your life panned out, didn't change the fact that they loved you regardless. Some of you, it's like they treated you in a certain way actually because you were their favorite. And so some of the things that would happen with you, or the things that you would do, would make them infuriated in a way because you were actually their favorite. It wasn't because you were the least favorite. And I know it sounds a bit off, but it's almost as if, again, just like the energy of like knowing that your path, or the path that you're on, was the path that was actually going to be the right path for you, and you were going to be some kind of generational curse breaker. It's almost as if it's like indirectly that energy also. But they're needing for you to know that they loved you very much. They needing for you to know that you are on their heart. It's like they really loved you. They cared for you. I'm getting somebody also, there was issues between your grandmother and your mother, or your grandmother and your father, but like your grandmother and a parent, either your both parents or one of your parents, where they didn't really get along. And so because of that, you didn't get to maybe bond with her like you used to at some point. And you're needing to know that that did not change how she felt about you. That didn't change anything. However the relationship was or ended up with your mother or your parent and her, never changed how she felt about you, or never changed the fact that she really, truly, deeply loved you. But I feel like this energy of just like not being on good terms with your parent or the mother or something of the sort is what kind of separated you. And I feel like somehow the parent or the mother just ended up not really talking about your grandmother as much anymore, or just not really talking about her. Some of you, I'm getting you are like either like an only child, or like you're just two, but then there's something about the rest of your siblings not being your real siblings. So you may have been the first of your mother, okay? And then somehow, or something about your mother moving on to the next person, or like when your mother like settled down with somebody new, there was something that happened with her and your grandmother, where it's like the relationship ended up just going silent or just getting ruined. It had something to do with either the person she ended up with, or the fact that she chose to maybe go away with that person. There's something of the sort. Some of you might need to ask some questions about the relationship between your mother and your grandmother, and maybe a stepfather. Okay, like the father of the other children of your mother. There was something about, I don't know if it was like an argument, if it was like a fight. Maybe your grandmother didn't want them to be with that person, or maybe your grandmother didn't think it was a good idea for them to go away with that person, but they decided to. And this brought like a rift between the two of them. And somehow, I don't know, but maybe as a child you never really thought about it, but maybe growing up you began to think that she like just like decided that I'm hearing like outcast, like she cast you, like you and your mother out, or like you and your mother, she decided to. But that was not the case. It's almost as if the main issue was with your mother, but as there was a misunderstanding, of course, as a mother, she was going to take you with her. She's your mother. She was, so it's almost as if somehow she lost your mother and then she lost you too. So this you are very, very dear to your grandmother. You were dear to her when she was alive, and now also you've become even more dear to her. And I feel like another thing, wow, I have goosebumps all over, or more like chills. Another thing that's coming through is, it's like almost like she's saying, like, in this time, as she has passed on, with the veneration that you do for her, she feels even closer to you. She feels much closer to you than she ever did when she was alive. And I feel like that's the reason why it's like this spirit energy is feeling the need to let you know exactly how much you mean to them. I don't know how many people this message is going to reach, but I really hope and pray that for anybody out there that this message resonates with or could be for, even if they don't find this message, that they can feel within their heart, whenever they venerate this grandmother, that she truly, really loved you. Like she deeply loved you. But certain circumstances couldn't allow her to like really stand up. And I feel like this is where the apology is coming from. In certain cases where she feels like she should have stood up for you, or she should have defended you, should have protected you, should have believed you, but didn't. It's almost as if she's coming through to say, I'm sorry. 11:11 on the timer. It's just like she's coming through to say, like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't defend you when I was supposed to. I'm sorry I didn't stand up for you when I was supposed to. Sorry I didn't speak up for you when I was supposed to. Sorry I didn't believe you when I was supposed to. For some of you, there's something that happened where she may have acted, you felt like she didn't believe you. Maybe people didn't believe you, but you expected that she would believe you. And she didn't, or she acted like she didn't, like she brushed it off. It wasn't because she didn't believe you. It was actually because she believed you. It was actually because she believed you. But I feel like in believing you, the next thing for her to do would have been to take a certain stance against someone, or make a certain decision against somebody in the family. And this is what she didn't want to do, is the reason why she may have brushed it off or acted like she didn't believe you, but she actually did. And I'm getting this is one of the things that she's sorry for. For some of you, it's like whoever this grandmother energy is wants to let you know that she is sorry for allowing the rift between her and your parent to affect her relationship with you. And that it should have never been so. That you didn't deserve to not receive love from her just because of some misunderstanding between her and your mother, or her and your parent. And I'm seeing also like something like a grandmother being visited by, I don't know, I feel like there's a lump in my throat, almost like I want to cry, but it's not really me. And it's like reaching out into my head. And I'm seeing a vision of like, it's like a grandmother, being visited by some of her children and her grandchildren. And she's happy to see them, but she keeps looking at the door and keep wondering if you are going to come also. Keeps wondering if your mother is going to come also, if your parents are going to come also, if she's going to see you also. So I feel like for some of you, what if something happened with your mother and your grandmother where she cut her off, and as a result stopped seeing her or stopped going to see her, and as a result you ended up not seeing her again. So it's almost like there's this energy of like this grandmother missed you also. So it's like somehow you may have even seen videos or heard that, your cousins, maybe they went there. And I'm hearing Thanksgiving, I noticed in the comment, it's actually Thanksgiving. I don't know about a lot of the different holidays and stuff like that outside. And I mean, even with Christmas, it's just like, I like the Christmas lights. It's one of the things that I really like about Christmas. But Christmas is not really like a thing for me. But I like to go out and watch the Christmas lights and the Christmas trees. I like those things. So I noticed in the comment a lot of people saying, happy Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. And I actually went on Google to look up Thanksgiving. Okay. And then apparently it's like a celebration of gratitude where families come together and just celebrate family, or just be grateful for family or something of the sort, right? So I feel like there had been Thanksgivings where she missed you, or where she missed, like, as in you didn't show up, or your parents didn't show up, and she really hoped that you would. So I'm getting, for some of you, you may have been isolated from your family, you and your parent, or you and your mother, in the sense that, like, whereas other family members, would go home and participate in family activities, or, like, I guess holiday celebrations and stuff like that, you and your parent or your mother wouldn't go for those things, because it's almost like there was this rift between something to do with them and the family. For some of you, I'm getting something may have happened when you were young, where somebody said something to you or did something to you, and you told your mother, she told your grandmother, and it's like they called you to ask about it. You said what you said, and somehow the answer they gave, or like they didn't believe you, something that is coming up again. This could have been, for some of you, this would be for a few people. For some of you, this is the reason why your mother cut themselves off from the family or took you away from the family. Okay, so that's one distinct for some people. But this message is just really coming through to let you know that, again, it's like she's saying, like, I'm sorry that I didn't defend you when I was supposed to, didn't stand up for you, that maybe I put you in the position of feeling like you weren't loved. But I loved you so deeply. I love you so deeply. Not just loved, but love so deeply. For some of you, I don't know if you come from a big family where everybody was trying to be your grandmother's favorite, like everybody, like, like even amongst, like, maybe like your aunties and uncles, like everybody wanted to be her favorite child. And then this translated into like the grandchildren, like everybody wants to be loved by grandma, or everybody wants to be the one to sit on her lap, or everybody wants to be the one to tell her, oh, I had good grades, oh, I did this, I got that, just so she can commend them or something of the sort. But I feel like there's something about you also where, you may have had like kind of like a bad rep where, you had some issues growing up. And then, a lot of things may have gone to like, oh, she did this, she did that. But it's like she didn't really care about those things. Whoever this message is for, I really hope that this message brings you some level of peace, understanding, and harmony. And if you had something against that, I don't sense that energy, because this message is coming through also. It's like, it's because you have been venerating her, you have been sending her love and light, and it's like, that's why she's saying it has brought you closer than, even much more closer than you were when she was alive. And it's almost like she always yearned for this. Somehow she could see again some of your ways. She recognized some of your ways in her mother also, in her grandmother also. That root energy within you, that spiritual essence within you, she could recognize it. That pure heart within you, she could recognize it. And she really cherished you more than you could even imagine. As always, family, please listen with discernment. Take only what resonates and leave what doesn't. And if the message resonates with you, please like, share, subscribe to help us reach even more of our soul tribe. Have a blessed holiday, guys.